Chapter 50. Rain like blessing. Children are a heritage from the Lord, offspring a reward from him. Psalm 127, verse 3. Ruthie watched him, her husband, his body warm and steady behind her, arms encircling her waist, their fingers still intertwined. Her voice trembled with anticipation, breath catching as she gathered the courage to speak.
James,
She whispered, heart pounding.
I'm pregnant.
At first, he didn't say anything, just held her tighter. She felt his breath catch against her shoulder, his fingers twitch slightly over her stomach as if trying to grasp the impossible truth. And then, slowly, he turned her in his arms, hands cupping her face.
You're serious?
His eyes were wide, searching hers, raw with wonder.
You're really?
She nodded, tears slipping down her cheeks.
I took the test this morning. Naomi brought it. It's real, James. We're going to have a baby.
He exhaled like something sacred had just entered his lungs. Then, with sudden urgency, he dropped to his knees in the wet grass, pressing his face gently to her belly, his arms wrapped around her hips like he was anchoring himself to the moment.
Hi, little one.
He whispered into the curve of her.
It's your dad.
The words hit her like a wave, so simple, so full of truth, it ached. Her knees gave way, and she knelt down with him, their foreheads resting against one another, breath mingling in the rain-damp air. Then he kissed her. It wasn't polished or poetic. It was desperate and tender and alive. A kiss that tasted of tears and soil and eternity. A kiss that said we made something out of nothing. That said, I see you. Their clothes were soaked, their hands muddy, her hair plastered to her face, but none of it mattered. Right there beneath the lemon trees, the sky weeping soft above them, they undressed each other with trembling hands, slowly, reverently, not in passion, but in devotion. James lay her down in the grass, his body curved around hers like a prayer. Their lovemaking was quieter this time, not rushed, not fiery, just sacred. Ruthie closed her eyes and let it wash over her. The sound of rain, the weight of his hand on her belly, the way he whispered,
Thank you.
again and again, like a man overwhelmed by grace. When it was over, they stayed wrapped in each other, bare skin against earth, the storm around them finally stilling.
I've never loved you more than I do right now.
He whispered.
I know.
She breathed.
Me too.
The weeks that followed were both tender and tiring. Morning sickness became a steady visitor, and Ruthie found herself gagging at odd smells and crying over empty tea canisters. Some days she felt bloated and sick, and far from the glowing image she'd imagined of pregnancy. Other days she stood in front of the mirror, hands resting on the soft rise of her stomach, whispering promises to someone she hadn't met yet, but already loved with her whole being. James was relentless in his devotion. He warmed wheat bags for her aching back, cooked toast at midnight when nothing else would stay down, left love notes on the bathroom mirror, short and misspelled and utterly perfect. You are already the best mom. We're doing this together. God gave her you. He built a cradle out of old fence posts they had salvaged after the fire, sanded it until it was smooth as silk, painted it the color of eucalyptus leaves. Ruthie sat nearby each evening, rubbing peppermint oil on her temples, watching him work with tears in her eyes. One night when doubt had washed over her, she turned to James.
I don't know how to do this.
She confessed, voice small.
What happens if I am not a good mother? It is not like I had a good role model.
James looked up from the cradle, dust on his shirt, sweat on his brow.
Neither do I.
Doesn't that scare you?
Yes,
He said simply.
but loving you, that doesn't. And loving our baby, that's already happening.
She broke then, not from fear, but from relief, from the beauty of being seen in her uncertainty and still chosen anyway. When Ruthie was 14 weeks pregnant, they drove to town for the first ultrasound. Ruthie's heart pounded the whole way. James held her hand on the console, knuckles white, but neither of them spoke. The room was quiet, clinical, cold. And then there it was, a flicker, a heartbeat, a tiny body curved like a comma on the screen, fingers, toes, a face. The sonographer smiled. She looks healthy. You're having a girl. A girl. Ruthie's whole body trembled. She reached for James without looking, and he squeezed her hand so tightly it hurt. In the car afterward, parked beneath the gum trees behind the clinic, they stared at the black and white photo like it held all the answers in the world.
A girl.
Ruthie said out loud. James nodded, silent.
What do we name someone who's already changed everything?
He looked at her with eyes still full of wonder.
Eden.
She stilled.
Eden?
It means delight
He said.
and beginning.
Ruthie nodded slowly, the name blooming inside her like spring.
Eden Grace.
James ran his thumb across the photo and kissed her temple. That night, Ruthie couldn't sleep. James snored softly beside her, one hand resting protectively on the curve of her belly, even in sleep. She climbed out of bed and padded barefoot into the kitchen, wrapping herself in her cardigan. The farmhouse was still, except for the creak of the timber and the wind rustling outside like breath. She lit a candle, pulled out paper, sat at the table where their life had quietly taken root, and began to write.
Dear Eden, if you are reading this, it means time has passed. You've grown. Maybe you've laughed till your belly hurt. Maybe you've cried till you forgot how to stop. Maybe you've fallen in love. Maybe you've fallen apart. Whatever the season, whatever the storm or the sunrise you're standing in, I want you to know this. You were born from ashes and anointing, from trembling hands and holy ground. You were born in a house lit only by candlelight and the prayers of the broken who dared to believe that beauty could rise again. You are my redemption story, my answered prayer, my garden after the fire. Your name, Eden Grace, wasn't chosen, it was revealed. Eden, because even after loss and exile, God still plants life, still walks with us in the cool of the evening, still brings us back to the place of beginning and grace, because that's the only way I made it. Unmerited, unearned, undeniably God. I was a woman running from herself when I found Jesus, or maybe, more truthfully, when he found me. I thought I was too ruined, too ashamed, too late, but he called my name like it was never broken. He met me in the wreckage, in the quiet, in the grief, and he stayed. Oh, Eden, he stayed. You are not the start of my story, but you are the moment everything changed. The moment hope took form in a heartbeat. The moment I stopped asking if I was worthy of love and just started loving anyway. There is something I need you to know, not just as your mother, but as a woman who once stood where you might someday stand. Lost, hurting, unsure of her place in the world. You are not a mistake. You are not too much or not enough. You are not invisible. You are not unloved. You are God's. And you are ours. Your father loved me when I didn't love myself. He saw me not as damaged, but as becoming. His love helped me trust again. His hands helped build the home you were born into, a home full of laughter. Your dad, Eden, he is an angel. Not with wings or halos, but with calloused hands and a heart that always makes room. His love has healed places in me that I thought were too far gone. He listens like it's an honor. He prays like he knows heaven is listening. He touches the earth with gentleness and brings peace wherever he goes. And Naomi, She's the reason I ever believed it was possible. If you remember anything about her, remember that love doesn't have to share your blood to be family. She mothered me when I was motherless. She carried me through the ache. And she carried you too, long before you were born. This world will wound you, Eden. I won't pretend otherwise. There will be moments you feel alone, unwanted, unseen. But in those places, cry out to Jesus. He is the one who stayed when others ran, the one who bled so you wouldn't have to live bound, the one who turns graves into gardens. Let him be your compass. Let him be your safe place. Let him tell you who you are. And please forgive, quickly, freely, fully. Not for them, but for your own peace. Bitterness will rot your joy from the inside out. Let go of what no longer serves your soul. Let love win, again and again. Dance barefoot in the kitchen. Cry when you need to. Worship like no one's watching. Tell the truth even when your voice shakes. And never, ever be afraid to start again. You were born of fire, but you are not the flames. You were born of grace, and you carry it now. You are our daughter. You are God's daughter. And that makes you unstoppable. Wherever you go, whatever you become, come back to the garden. Come back to the God who never left. Come back to the love that first named you. I will love you forever, until breath leaves my lungs, and even beyond then, in eternity. I will love you. Mum.
Thank you for listening to this chapter of Healing on the Land. If this story has touched your heart, I'd love for you to come join me for the next chapter. You can find it here on this channel. If you'd like to support more Christian storytelling, you can purchase the full book or make a donation using the link in the description. Your support, no matter the size, helps us to continue writing stories of faith, healing, and hope. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to this channel. May God bless you, and I hope you have a lovely rest of your day.